Hello there, fellow NPCs. I'm Scythe, and today we're getting back into Everlasting Summer. We are at the very end of the first run of this game. We are at the Semyon run, and we just have to... And it's the day 7 is about to begin. Or is it? Has it begun? I don't remember. Well, I guess we will see. But we are at the very least. Yes, we are in the middle of day 7 now that I think of it. We're saying goodbye to all the girls after weird pioneer has been saying some weird shit to us. So yeah, I guess we just have to say goodbye to the girls and see where this is taking us. So yeah, let's go. I got up to open it. It was Slavia on the doorstep. You came to see Olga Dmitrievna? No. Come in then. I was 100% sure that the pioneer had already disappeared. Turns out, I was right. Slavia took a seat on the bed, and I snuggled against the wardrobe in the far corner of the room. She was distinctly nervous. Did something happen? Not really. It's just today is the last day. Well, I'm already aware. Better late than never. Well, so I thought. I mean... we probably won't see each other ever again. It's a small world, as they say. Maybe you would give me your address to write letters. I would have, if I only knew it myself. Well, you can still give her your actual address, you know. The one from, what, 10, 20 years into the future? You know, let's do it the other way around. You give me your address. I'll definitely write to you upon arrival. But why don't you want me to give out yours? Well, we were just about to move, so you never know. It's better if I write to you. I try to put on my cutest smile to make my story look more credible. Oh, okay, it's fine then. Slavia got up and seemed to be leaving. Hey, wait, what about the address? Let's do it later. An expression of sorrow and disappointment crossed her face. She thinks I am ditching her. I just shut the door, and right then I heard the spiteful voice of the pioneer from behind. Well, happy now? You've hurt a girl. What have I hurt her with? What should I have said to her? My dear, write me to my dear granny in the village. Or should I have left her the address of a house that's probably not even built yet? Yes, that's my opinion. So what? I'm not my brother's keeper. It's your world, not mine. I'll manage somehow in my own. That last phrase really made me squirm. You know what? He didn't manage to finish the phrase. Someone's knocking at the door again. Come in. Uliana flew into the cabin. You again? Why the rush, my lady? I made an excessively showy bow. Me, I'm just... Her eyes darted about cautiously and her cheeks were blushed. Just wanted to say goodbye. There will be time for that anyway. After all, we'll all be going on the same bus. Yeah, you're right. But it's kind of embarrassing in front of everybody. Oh, so there is something that you can be embarrassed by. I laughed. She pouted. I just wanted to tell you that you aren't a douche, really. In fact, you're almost a cool guy. Her words astonished me. Well, thanks. You're good to hang out with, too. Well, that's that. She rushed outside, slamming the door loudly. Hey, didn't expect that from her? Did you? I got nothing to do with that, I told you. It really looks like you knew what she will say. Maybe I did, maybe not. You just came in to mock me? I started to lose my temper. That idea had also crossed my mind. Then why the hell are you hanging around here? If I ever need a man to comment on all my actions, I'll hire a professional psychologist. You think that after all this time I don't qualify as one? My estimation is that after all that time here, you've definitely gone bananas. All psychologists are freaks. Yes, but not all freaks are psychologists. He laughed out loud. That sense of humor, how encouraging. Frankly, your jokes are fairly lame. What are you laughing at? At yourself. Listen, if you got nothing to do in your own world, go and bug that second one. And have you got anything to do in your world? The pioneer sharply countered. You know, I'll find out what to do. I'll pack my things, leave this camp, and then what? Then what? Like I know. I've never been in such a situation before, believe it or not. It's just that you've forgotten that you won't be able to leave the camp. Yeah, he was right on this matter. Probably. Just because you failed to do so doesn't mean that I will fail too. You're the boss. What's knocking at the door? So quiet that I barely heard it. Lena. That's Lena. Damn, who else is it? Hissed I under my breath and shouted, Come in! But the door didn't open, so I pulled the handle myself. Lena was on the doorstep. It looked like I really scared her. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to... You came to see Olga Dmitrievna? No, she said, staring at the ground. So what is it then? What did Lena want from me? Come in. She came in and hesitated in the middle of the room. Wanna take a seat? I pointed at one of the beds. Lena hesitated a bit more, but nevertheless took a seat. Did something happen? Not at all, it's just... She threw a quick glance at me, but blushed at once and looked away. Here. Lena took something out of her pocket and handed it to me. I was stunned. It was my phone. But where did you get it from? I found it in the forest. Okay, but why do you think it's mine? Some boy told me so. Have you ever seen him before? I don't know. I couldn't see his face, but he was dressed in a pioneer uniform. Everything was clear at once. And you don't wonder what it is? I looked at the screen. There's still some battery left. Therefore, the cell phone shouldn't just look like a piece of plastic to Lena. I don't know. Some kind of game? Yeah, you're right. I quickly opened Snake in the menu and handed the phone to her. Here you go, a keepsake. Oh, what are you doing? I can't. Lena waved her hands at me. Take it. I have loads of these at home. She resisted a bit more, but finally she took the device. And what do I do with it? Press the keys to move left and right. You've got to eat these pellets and keep it from hitting your own tail. Wow, it's so interesting. She smiled. Thank you. Yet I have nothing for you. It's so embarrassing. I don't need anything. Thanks. No, that's not good. She said with a voice that sounded more confident than usual. It's the last day today after all. Yeah. I hope we'll meet again. I think we will. Then I have a present for you. And what is it? Close your eyes. Okay, she's not gonna kiss me on the cheek, is she? I did so. And promise that you won't open them until I tell you. Okay. No, you have to promise. All right, I promise. In a moment, I felt a light kiss on my cheek. Yeah, she did. I was really eager to open my eyes, but I promised. Open. The room was empty. What a girl. The only thing I managed to say. So, how does it feel, stud? I heard malicious laughter from the place where Lena had just been sitting. So that's your new way of pranking me, eh? Using the others? Me? Pranking? God forbid. Indeed, you got a kiss from a sweet girl thanks to me. Only chic, but anyway. I really wanted to beat him up at that moment, but I wasn't even sure that he's a physical being here. I presume that this prank wasn't your last one? I said calmer. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Isn't it fun? The pioneer laughed hard. Perhaps Professor Moriarty laughed like that, anticipating the success of his diabolical plan. You're certainly having fun, but I'm not. Relax, dude. There's almost nothing left. And here you go, your second lap. After you do a dozen, then you learn a pit stop. Although you probably won't even need me then. You'll figure out everything yourself. Yeah, I do have everything written down after all. It's not like I need you right now either. Oh, what ingratitude. Just cut it out. If you'd ever... Just shut up already. No understanding. Shut your damn mouth! I screamed so loud that the walls trembled. That's quite loud. The front door suddenly burst open and Alyssa came in. Is it just me or has someone gone completely nutty nuts? She asked with fright. Well, you could say so, I answered angrily. Why are you yelling? 'Cause I want to. I've already realized that the accidental arrival of Alyssa was either planned by this pioneer or would be commented on by him in a manner that I'd sooner drive a pair of nails into my ears than have to hear. Have you gone psycho or something? Alyssa reclined on a bed in a laid-back manner. To what do I owe the honor? I came just for the sake of it, and you're just there screaming. You aren't doing anything just for the sake of it. I got nothing to do. I packed my stuff. It's boring. Well, well. If you think that I came to you because... She threw an angry glance at me and turned away. I really shouldn't have come after that. After what? I haven't said a word. Of course. You thought it instead. Oh, so you can read minds now. There's no need to read your mind. It's written all over your face. It was hardly possible to read anything on my face besides fatigue and anger. And what have you read there? That's none of your business. Well, it's not like I'm holding you here. Forget it. I'll go wherever I please. Don't boss me around. Okay, stay here then, for God's sake. Anyway, I liked Alyssa's company much more than the pioneers. I lay back and closed my eyes. It took Alyssa a few minutes to break the silence. You really don't want to tell me anything? For example, today's the last day after all. So you're happy? Well, she babbled uncertainly. Everyone's leaving. Good riddance. And that's all? You need something else? Didn't you like it here? Her voice sounded unusual. I've seen better places. Damn, you're so dumb that speaking to you is a complete waste of time. She got up and headed to the exit. Yep, good luck to you too. Alyssa turned to me. Her face was writhing with anger. Couldn't you at least have said that you'll miss me? Sure I will. Wimp! She slammed the door loudly. Stupid. Alyssa didn't hear my last line, of course. What a wayward chick, huh? As good as you are. And you in that case. Oh, of course. Keep comparing me to yourself. I remarked mischievously. But what's the difference? We're in the same situation. I just been here a little longer. Well, in fact, a lot longer. You've already gone completely nuts. No wonder. His hoarse laughter was really pissing me off. Listen, have I already told you that you should be an actor? You do a brilliant Hannibal Lecter. Especially since you consider yourself a psychiatrist. Well, think about it. Well, now I must go. Maybe I'll see you again. Get lost. I turned to look at him, but the pioneer had already disappeared. Oh, finally. But nevertheless, why did he come? Might be the case that me, him and the others like us are the only real people around here, but I desperately didn't want to believe that. All his speech seemed like some sort of complex game. Like he's trying to give me one hint after the other, trying to lead me to something, enabling me to discover some kind of devious plot. Too bad he's not really successful at that, because I'm out of ideas. Time dragged on deceitfully slowly, but it's 5 p.m. already. It's common during the summer. If one counts the seconds and minutes, it appears that even a single hour would never end. But if one thinks of anything else, then the whole day flies by quickly. I decided to start packing. They could leave without me. I quickly took all my winter stuff and shoved it into a bag. I was almost about to jump onto the bed again, but the door opened and Olga Dmitrievna came in. "Oh, I see you're packed already." "That's great. Let's go." I got up reluctantly, grabbed my simple luggage and followed her. I really don't care what will happen next. I had long suspected nothing was up to me in this world, and recent events had reinforced my complete confidence in this. I might wake up tomorrow in bus number 410 and I might not wake up or I might not wake up at all. And that's all, folks. It's all that simple. There's no point in staying here. There's nowhere to run. Basically, my only exit is to leave on the bus with everyone else. Go into the unknown. That's all I'd be doing for the last week, stumbling along a narrow path in pitch black darkness, unsure of where is the beginning and where's the end. We were almost approaching the gates when I heard someone calling my name. Voice, is that the random girl? Semyon! Semyon! Olga Dmitrievna? Excuse me, just a moment. Okay, but make it so fast or we'll leave without you. Well, that's mean, considering that is the only bus that comes here, and apparently only once a week. I headed for the bushes that the voice came from. Semyon! Semyon! I waded through the thick greenery and came out onto a forest path. The voice seemed to be calling from nowhere. One moment it was heard behind a tree, and now it seems to be behind my back. Probably it's one of those aliens from the parallel worlds, but I suspect that I haven't met this exact one before. We don't have much time. I'm listening. I know that you've already been contacted by him and him. Yeah. And I know that what they've told you. Don't ask me how. Okay. But you must know one thing. The thing I know. There's more than a dozen of us here. In fact, more than 1,000. But a lot of people got out. I tried to digest what is said and phrase the right questions. Then why are you here? I stayed. Why? To help others to find an exit. Wow, how generous. And why should I trust you? You're the third one already. Well, in fact, I'm not even sure that you all aren't just my hallucination. It's not about trust. Then what is it about? It's about the right choice. Thank you. This is a visual novel. Do the right choice. Get the right answer. Consider this camp to be a giant maze. You should take a few right turns and to find an exit. Okay. And how do I know which ones are right? You will know. Come with me. Where to? To the second lap. Hold on a sec. That pioneer said that my second lap will start tomorrow. He lied. The speaker raised his voice. He's gone completely crazy and he's trying to destroy all the others. So if I don't go with you and leave on the bus, then I'll be destroyed, right? I don't know. Then why do you say so? Nobody ever returned after our conversation with him. Listen, why should I trust you? I was definitely on the edge. While that other pioneer just mocked me and didn't seem to be a real danger, this one clearly spoke about things worth being anxious about. I couldn't decide which one should I trust. This problem is like trying to get a blind man to say whether the light in the room is on or off. He can only guess. Just like me. Hurry up, time is running out. Hey, wait a sec! Make a choice. Are we coming or not? Follow the voice, do not follow the voice. And that is actually going... No. I know that I usually say that when we are going to stop something. But no. We are just going to do a little save here. Stop something, I mean stop for the day. We're going to do a save there. Because this is at the very end of our first run. So I believe we follow the voice. I believe that is what I did the first time around. We'll see if I manage to get both endings in this episode. Follow the voice. Okay, let's go. Anyway, it sounded more credible than the crazy pioneer. Of course, this solution could be fatal, but the alternative isn't any better. I just took a shot in the dark. Okay, so where are we going? We are already there. My eyesight started to fade and I felt my consciousness leaving me. Ooh! And that... Okay, did not expect him to be called... Tushan Eroge team, okay. But yeah, Eroge, which is Ero game. But either way, that's the first ending. The one that I got the very first time I played this game. So there's no wonder I was very disappointed in this game. I played this and I got the bad ending without any of the girls. Which is completely 100% on me, but it was basically pretty much my very first visual novel as well in modern times. So, oh yeah. All the guys who supported us all these years, who kept waiting and believing, thank you and goodbye for now. Because this is not the end. It does say the end, but it's not the end. Oh, I can't even skip past this. So we just have to wait, see what's happening. If there's some kind of end credit scene. Oh, I guess my screen is bigger than the game or something because it just got stuck there. Yeah, no, that's it. Let's go back here. We're going here. Do not follow the voice. But yeah, so if you follow the voice, we die. We just disappear. And that is why I was so freaking disappointed. Do not follow the voice. No, you know what? I can't just believe you only in a couple of minutes. At least I've known that other guy for a little longer, and this argument seemed to be more weighty. You'll be sorry. Those words sounded like they were coming from another world. The voice seemed to disappear. Of course, I couldn't be sure whether my choice is right or wrong. It was a blind guess enforced by a time limit. Nevertheless, whether I'm right or not, we'll find out soon. In a couple of minutes, I was standing at the bus stop with all the other pioneers. Yeah, and this is me. Oh, Miku isn't here for some reason, and neither is Yasha, what's her name? Senya. Everybody here? Began Olga Dmitrievna. You're leaving our camp today, and I'd like to tell you something important. She was visibly nervous and desperately lost for words. I hope that you'll remember the time you spent here for a lifetime, and that you'll retain only pleasant memories about Sovyonok. I also hope that you became at least a little bit better, managed to learn something and found new friends. Just come back next year. The camp leader looked away. It's like she was trying to keep the tears inside. I didn't expect her to get so emotional. Although her speech sounded like complete nonsense to me, as usual. The pioneer started to crowd into the bus, babbling cheerfully. I decided to hold on a little and say a proper goodbye to this camp. All of a sudden, I felt a deep urge to throw a coin. What? Okay. Of course, there's no fountain here. Okay. And honestly, I didn't feel like returning. But it's still just a superstition, and I don't believe in them. At least I never believed in them before. Digging through my pockets, I found only a couple of candy wrappers, a pencil, and a scrap of paper. I held them for a moment, then I squatted, put the paper on the ground and scribbled a few words. You are here for a reason. Grinning at my stupidity, I threw the scrap under the wheel of the bus and got into the cabin. Okay. I found a place in the middle. But the strangest thing was that everyone sat in pairs and only I was alone. However, what's the difference now? I'll let it disappear or I'll restart everything in a couple of hours. The bus was slowly moving towards the district center, occasionally bouncing over the bumps in the road. It was impossible to see anything beyond the old windows in the pitch-black dark of the night. Anyway, I couldn't care less about the surrounding countryside. I just sat and waited for the inevitable. For the first time in a long while, my head was completely empty. The pioneers around me enjoyed the trip. Juliana and Alyssa were playing cards. Lena was reading a book and Slavia was sleeping. Mika was trying in vain to start a conversation with Senya, and Senya was trying really hard not to start killing people. Electronic and Shurik were crafting something, as always. I was the only one completely ignored by everyone. It might be a slightly far-fetched perception. I got used to the role of being the center of the universe in the camp. I thought that everything revolved around me. Well, that might be so up to a certain degree, but here and now I'm only a foreign object, an out-of-place molecule in the harmonic pattern of a crystal grid. I'm not sure how long we'd spent on the road, but sleep had already started to overcome me. I was desperately fighting Morpheus, trying to stay awake as long as I could. After all, it's quite possible that today is the last day of my life. Then probably it's reasonable to cling as hard as I could to these few hours of meaningless, useless existence. However, physical fatigue and, more importantly, emotional fatigue took its toll, and I fell asleep. Day unknown. Ooh, end credit scene. What happened here? A sharp pain throbbed through my entire body. I felt it especially sharp in my temples. It feels like they're ready to shatter into 1,000 little pieces, giving the wind free access to my empty head. Probably I would not have been able to stand even 5 minutes of such torture if I hadn't opened my eyes in time. I was somewhere. It was impossible to tell precisely where. My mind was clouded in mist. My thoughts were confused. The moment between the unconscious and conscious states were when you vividly remember your dreams. No wonder I hated the first playthrough so much. I didn't even get to see you. Oh my god! Holy crap! I was going somewhere by bus and was about to doze off when suddenly a girl came up to me and began to speak quickly. Oh, this is the intro music, right? I couldn't understand a word, but the girl looked very upset. I failed to understand what she needed from me. Time passed, and she kept talking on and on. It was getting really annoying. I wanted to ask her to cut it out or at least calm down a bit, but I failed. Either because I didn't manage to say anything or because my words didn't reach her. I couldn't even see her face. I was simply listening and staring and listening. Perhaps it wasn't important for me then. Surely you wouldn't not try to remember what a mosquito disturbing your sleep looks like. Surely you wouldn't manage to recall the frequency of its flapping wings or the inclination of its proposes after that. And this girl is just one of millions of voices that disturb you from concentrating, from thinking, from falling asleep. The louder her voice grew, the harder it got for me to catch her words. The bus cabin, the seats worn by time, the uneven floor, the rusty ceiling, the cracked glass on the windscreen, everything was floating away, along with her. And then I felt a unique sense of relief. It didn't matter how real the bus and the girl had been, it was nothing but a bug to me. And here I am, hanging in total emptiness and falling inside a dream. Wow, dreams can be really something. Not quite a nightmare, yet definitely not something pleasant. I got up, rubbed my eyes to get back to reality, gave a loud yawn and prepared to clean myself up. It was a really grey morning. Unable to find my hygiene kit on the nightstand, I concluded that I could manage without it. It was hard to get dressed. My hands were trembling like hell. I looked at my reflection in the mirror and checked out my 2-week stubble. Well, perhaps Olga Dmitrievna had a razor. It was only when I went outside that I suddenly understood that I'm not in a pioneer camp. Okay, it took him some time, but he figured it out. I'm back in my apartment. And I just come out of my room into a passageway, not out of the cabin. I was overwhelmed, with surprise, with dismay, with fear, even with terror. But how? I sat down on the bed and buried my face into my hands, trying to remember the chain of yesterday's events. Yeah, the bus, the last day of the term. Yeah, I fell asleep and woke up back home. Well, to some degree, it might even seem quite logical. It seemed that the initial astonishment has worn off during the first few seconds. After all, the fact that I came back like this after a week-long absence is no stranger than my sudden appearance at some pioneer camp of the 80s in the first place. The events of the last 2 days flashed before my eyes in an instant. 2 days? Okay. The mysterious pioneer, his words, okay, those 2 days. But how did I manage to get back to reality then? According to him, I was going to be stuck there forever, as there's no exit. On the other hand, I wasn't alone. That pioneer at the bus stop and the mystery voice emphasized the contrary, that the exit exists. Does that mean I found it? I managed to get out of that endless loop? But how? Nevertheless, I wasn't sure whether I should rejoice or grieve. Over the last week I'd kind of gotten used to the everlasting inner monologue, the search for answers and the in-depth analysis of everything, so I simply couldn't accept this fact as it was, without figuring out what exactly happened to me. Sure, he told me that I'm the only one who was observed in the existence of the other guys like me during their very first loop, but does that mean anything? Anyway, all his theories and ideas instantly collapsed like a house of cards. Now I had to decide how I should react. Of course I should rejoice. After all, I'm back to the real world. Maybe the last 7 days were just a dream. Indeed, there's absolutely no evidence that I really was there. I don't see my pioneer uniform anywhere. I look my age, just like I did before. My phone is on the table, fully charged. But one can't deceive one's own memory. One can't live through such terrifically real experiences in a dream. I still remember the events of the whole week in great detail. Perhaps I was in a coma all this time. An ironic laugh escaped my lips. Nah, that's not an option either. Then, all's well that ends well? The last few hours in the camp flashed through my mind. Indeed, I wasn't hoping to get out, either from that camp or from the reality, and I was pretty much ready to another week. And another one. I'd accepted my role. I'd reconciled with my destiny. And what was I supposed to do after all the stuff that happened? I heaved a doomed sigh, got up from my bed with considerable efforts, and went to my computer. That's weird, but according to it, only 14 hours have passed since my disappearance from this world. Not a whole week. A new message in the instant messenger. Hi Semyon, yesterday it was legendary. See you later. My college friend. It was him who invited me to the party with the rest of his college friends that I was going to attend. Oh, so we did actually go. Suddenly, all my senses came back to me. The headache, the dizziness, all the symptoms of a hangover. It looks like I indeed attended the party yesterday, and I was partying hard, so there was no pioneer camp. But then, where did all these memories, emotions and feelings come from? All of this was so incomprehensible that I became enraged. I began cursing foully, trying to tear my hair out and hammering on the keyboard with my fists. I didn't return to a normal state until there were no keys left on it. Oh shit, he had a complete meltdown. Why should I care so much? Nobody worries when a dream or a hallucination ends. Moreover, people are usually glad that it happens. Was I really that prepared to stay there until that my return to reality became so undesirably for me? And then a simple and obvious thought crossed my mind. Perhaps I'm just going insane. Indeed, madmen frequently have visions which they perceive as reality. Besides, I had all the symptoms of insanity. I never leave the four walls of my prison. I never socialize. I have lots of psychological problems. Well, that explains a lot. My dark, nervous laughter echoed in the room. Guess it's the right time to visit a therapist. Or rather psychiatrist. Or should I just surrender myself at the asylum? Semyon. A horse! A horse! Half my kingdom for a horse! I cried at the top of my lungs between the bouts of my manic laughter. Oof. I thought the other ending was a bad ending, but this doesn't seem very good either. Dispute not with her. She is a lunatic. The racket my neighbors made on the wall calmed me down somehow. If I'm tripping that bad, it looks like only a lobotomy could help me. Okay. I just sat completely freaked out for several hours, doing nothing, thinking nothing, just staring at the monitor, long since gone into sleep mode. Finally, I moved the mouse and opened a few tabs in the browser. So what's new? F5, F5. Does anything happen when I press F5? Nothing. As if the events of the past week had never happened. Come on. Do you have to grieve for a hallucination? Was it real? Sure. Lots of memories? Sure. Looks true enough? By all means, yes. Any proof? Nope. The verdict is clear, as is my future course. I have long suspected that my current lifestyle wasn't doing me any good. I wasn't ready for such an unusual event. But so what? I'll have to be more prepared for my next trip. Night. An endless stream of threads and images took my mind off my lamentations and considerations. An instant message window popped up most unexpectedly. Hi, how are you doing? Sure, quite an original way to start a conversation. Doing fine. The contact's profile was completely empty, not even a nickname, just a 9-digit number. Can't guess what kind of person is on the other end by just looking at a number, can you? Sure, someday it will all be different. Unified digital identifiers instead of names, a couple of symbols for a biography, several bytes of personality and 3.5 bits of feelings. Get home safely? Probably someone from yesterday's party. Seems like it. You do remember everything I told you yesterday, right? Well, I guess not. It was yet another message after a long pause. I see. Honestly, I don't give a damn who this is and why he is messaging me. Until this unidentified individual starts harassing me, I could easily tolerate this presence in my contact list. Well, that's okay. We'll meet again. We surely will. Sure looking forward to it, yeah. Alright. Bye. I didn't reply. This odd screwed up day at last was slowly coming to an end. Going to bed, I yet again recalled in my head all the events that seemed so real for me. Where am I going to wake up tomorrow? Would these hallucinations return? No. I'll probably just forget everything. Strange, but now I'm really feeling that everything happening and now is real. There was just a fiction, a game of deformed imagination or really something fantastical, and here is reality. Sometimes inconvenient, sometimes it unfolds differently from how you'd wish, surprises you like this, but it's still reality. I fell asleep with these thoughts. Dude, this is never ending. What the hell? This is the never ending summer. God damn. Bit by bit, my life resumed its normal course, and I started to forget the events of the week. After all, nothing bad happened. Even if it wasn't indeed real, who cares? There were only 7 days in a pioneer camp. I wasn't killed, nobody kidnapped me to conduct experiments. I wasn't brainwashed. So why do I care about the reason? And if it indeed was hallucination, I could only hope that it won't repeat itself. I was still a shut-in. My computer and the internet were my only friends, and the keyboard was the only communication channel connecting me to the outside world. The F5 key became the main thing in my life again. Come to think of it, it really wasn't all that bad. Yet one day a familiar combination of digits popped up on the screen. That strange contact of mine had come online once again. Ooh, what are they saying? Hey! Hey! How are you doing? Doing fine. Probably I knew him from somewhere, but who cares anyway? Any news? Not really. Stability is a sign of true class. One might say so. Oh, I see. This conversation was over for me, but it didn't seem to feel like that. So, nothing has changed? Nope. Should it have? But it's not like you experience stuff like that on a day-to-day basis. Not everyone gets to experience it either. What are you talking about? Don't you get it? I was starting to. I'd prefer you to explain. Don't you remember the camp? Yeah, I'm feeling it too. I felt like an electric shock. All the events of the week immediately sprang up in my mind. My hands started to tremble. A cold sweat burst from my forehead. I turned around in horror, already imagining that I see aliens, ghosts of a Grim Reaper. But there was nobody in my room except me, as always. I ran to the corridor, checked in the kitchen and in the bathroom. Still nobody. At last, I returned to the computer. The same message window was still flashing steadily, as if it was a perfectly ordinary message. Who are you? My hands were trembling so much I could hardly hit the right keys. Oh, so you do remember it. My hallucination seems to be continuing. Or did I never leave the camp in the first place? Or is just a dream after all, or... I don't know what to say. I admitted it sincerely. Anyhow, it felt that this entity, and that's the only definition that I could think of, doesn't need any kind of internet to communicate with me. Well, you can just keep silent. Everything is perfectly clear. XD. That smiley at the end of the line looked like a devil himself, stretching his deformed jaws open to devour me. What is happening to me? I finally made up my mind to ask that question. Nothing. Nothing at all. You're just living your regular life. But the camp, was it real? And what do you think? I'm not sure. If it seemed real to you, then yes, it was real. If not, then it wasn't. It's just that simple. That's not simple at all. What will happen to me next? I whispered. Nothing to worry about. What do you mean you whispered? You're texting. It seemed that it really heard me without the use of the internet. Oh, okay. I did whisper it. Terror shamed my whole body. I closed my eyes and curled myself into a ball. Why? Why are you doing this to me? I started to lose it. Words were coming out from my mouth by themselves. Illogical, meaningless sets of words. Why? Why me? What for? What for? Leave me alone. I haven't done anything bad. Several minutes after I found the courage to open one eye and take a look at the monitor. You are the reason for everything. The message windows was flickering coldly. And what's next? Oh, you'll see that soon enough. Smiley. Dude, this is going on forever. Everything started fading into black in my eyes. Noise filled my ears, and I started to feel dizzy. I felt that my very soul was escaping its physical shell. The events of the last few days became hazy, as if they all happened to someone other than me. Then, the memories of the camp started to vanish, as if somebody was using an eraser to thoroughly rub out the words written with a pencil. Moments later, I felt and sensed nothing, as though I was plunged into a state of cosmic bliss. If anyone saw me at that moment, they would notice that I was smiling. Oh, I'm kind of stuck here. I hit the report spam button, closed the window, switched to the browser and glanced at the clock. Time to get going or I'm gonna be late. Is it over now? Every story has its beginning and its end. Every story has its own outline, synopsis, content, key points, a prologue and an epilogue. And there is no book which, if you read it again, would not reveal new details you didn't notice before. Every story has its beginning and its end. Almost every. That seems like it's it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, a different end credit scene. We got out, it would seem, yeah. Because this is as I said, the Semyon endings. Not sure which is good or which is bad. Let's check that right away, actually. Here we go. Good if you choose do not follow the voice. Okay, so this one that we had right now is the good ending. Bad if you choose follow the voice. Yeah, that's what I thought. Just dying in an empty void of nothing is a bad choice. You know, that makes perfect sense. So yeah, that is the first run of Everlasting Summer. Now we have to go through all the 4 girls here, plus Miku, plus Senya, plus that last girl that we saw in the that's in the middle right there. Yeah, you saw her in the bus. So yeah, we got both endings for Semyon in this run. Awesome, great. This is how I want to do it, but I don't think it's going to be possible for all the other girls because they veer off in such wider directions. But yeah, that will be it for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you Joseph for donating directly to my Ko-fi page. If you guys want to help me out, you can do so by clicking the link down in the description. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye everyone.